soon. All right, man. Well, we gotta start off with another fucking week with some sad news. My man Schubert hit us with the Black Rob death.
Yo.
Black Rob.
Yeah.
Damn.
Whoa. Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Black Rob. Whoa. And then you followed that up with Shock G.
Yeah, Shock G. Yeah.
Like, whoa. Like, Jesus.
Digital Underground. I was just like, man, 2021 has not been kind to us black celebrities, bro.
No, sir.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm gonna say, like, we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not just the years that's doing us in. It's our lifestyles, and we gotta do better. If we want better, we gotta do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, you're right, man. Because what was Black Rob's that? I didn't look into his story closely. Was it like a kidney disease?
It was.
He was on dialysis, but I don't think that was the actual sum all be all of what.
I mean, he
his
had
ailments. He had heart problems.
Yeah, had heart problems too.
Strokes and shit. Yeah, strokes. Yeah.
But that's DMX too. Like, why is it that brothers? Why are we suffering strokes and heart diseases at such a young age?
Because our lifestyle, man.
Living that life,
a certain
man.
Lifestyle.
It's like unlimited, pussy, alcohol, and drugs. Like they live their life thinking I'm gonna be forever young. Nothing can hurt me. Popping bottles and shit, and eating caviar or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like they're not thinking about like this long term life. Like I want to be healthy into my old age.
Yeah.
The whole thing
and as spiritual as DMX was, you know what I mean, as into the Bible and everything he still was not able to reel his demons in. He couldn't reel them in. You know what I mean? He battled with drug addiction, and he just had unhealthy lifestyles. Like we got to take care of ourselves, man. Like at the end of the day, that's what it is.
And we gotta watch out for our youth, because I remember watching an interview where DMX talked about how he was introduced to hardcore drugs at 14.
Hey, I want to ask y'all a question. Now, he was introduced to hardcore drugs at 14.
That's crazy, bro. His mentor.
His man gave him the shit.
Yeah.
Fucked him up. Got him addicted. Yeah, that was the bullshit. That's the shit that happens.
That's the shit
you got to take care of our youth, because that's the shit that happens. But what I was going to say is, Puffy's a piece of shit too, man.
Puffy has always been a piece of shit, though.
I know, but
why are we saying Puffy's a piece of shit?
Think about this. How many, like, if you look at the bad boy artists, most of the bad boy artists have died.
They're broken, destitute. That's what it is.
And dead.
Yeah, they're Puffy's up there.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, why is Puffy, to blame for that?
Oh, I'm giving Puffy the blame on the Black Rob situation, because he could have helped out a little bit more with the situations and the bills that he had at that particular time. I know he mismanaged his money, but I know that Puffy was robbing motherfuckers at the end of the day.
Well,
Puffy robbed all of his artists.
Exactly. I think there's a pattern.
And I know that he mismanaged his own money, the little bit that he did have, but if he would have got paid his just due, then he might have been better off. So when he got sick, because guess what? In the hip-hop industry, they ain't got no motherfucking union. You know what I mean? Ain't no rap union. So motherfuckers ain't, when you get sick, you know what it costs to go to a hospital, to a doctor. So when you get sick and you ain't got no benefits and you ain't got no money, you fucked. You know what I mean?
A lot of those artists don't own their catalogs too. I think that was the biggest issue with Puffy. Like, I remember watching an interview with the Locks, and it was just saying how the thing is, man, I hate how the industry take advantage of young artists and their ignorance and not properly having them set up to have proper attorneys to look over their contracts and make them understand what they're signing. Because it's just like, these kids come from the hood, their whoever their guardian is not going to have the right frame of mind to look over the contract. It's going to be a shit ton of money that's presented to them, and it's just like you're taking advantage of them. In many regards.
I think that was then, though. I think that was then. Yeah. I think that was, the DMX. I think that was more the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, 2000. You shouldn't be getting taken advantage of right now, because everybody sees it. You yourself the way that these guys want to market themselves and be their own entity or their own brand, you don't let anybody take that away. You have to do the homework on your own part to say, oh, wait, this is a contract. Let me not just jump for this $10,000 for eight album deal. Like, what the fuck am I doing that? You know, why am I not getting a 360 deal? Why am I not marketing myself? Why am I not coming on independent? The way that it's set up now, like, that's why people are making so much money off hip hop, even if their shit sucks. You know what I mean? Because the way that it's set up right now in structure, you can make money. You don't even have to make an album. You could just be making songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never putting out an album, just making songs that people like. And that's it. So the game has changed in that aspect. So I don't think it's just, I think earlier motherfuckers was getting done with them contracts. But if you let yourself get suckered in with a contract now, understanding that you should have some kind of understanding. The youth nowadays, I'm not going to play them out to be that dumb. Not all of them.
Nah, but that's what but Diddy took, but that's the thing though. Diddy was the face of taking advantage of artists during a time in which that information wasn't readily available.
So you're saying he's the Don King of music.
Yes. That's a great comparison.
How you do it, the Don King of music.
He was the Don King of music.
Because Master P was the opposite of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Master P let his artists eat and everything. MC Hammer was the total opposite of it, where they caused him to lose everything, where he was just kind of giving money to the hood. You know what I mean? So it's layers to that, but he was the Don King of it.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, right? I don't know how to feel about all this, because like sometimes I look at it. So remember how they said, okay, with the NFL's got to come up with a way to get these guys financial advisors because they don't know how to handle all this money that they're getting and this, that, and the other. Same thing with, the music industry, right? And it's just like, on one side, I get it. But on the other side, I'm just like, if I win the lotto and I get a multi-million-dollar, whatever, the government doesn't tell me how to manage that money. If I get a job, straight out of college and it's making six figures, the job doesn't tell me how to manage my money. So why is the exception those that are in the entertainment industry?
No, I don't think it's an exception of those in the entertainment industry where you have to teach me how to manage my money. What I said was it was mismanagement of my own money. However,
no, I get what you're saying.
I didn't get,
but I'm just saying, but that's the
worth.
That's the thing, is that a lot of the the talk now is that that they someone should have helped them manage their money and told them how to manage their money, this, that, and the other. I was just listening to the Breakfast Club the other day and on Hot 97. That's one of the things they were discussing with Master P. It was like, how do you feel about Black Rob and this, that, and the other, and blase. And and I was surprised by Master P's response, but I was in wholehearted agreement with him. It's like, basically, like you can't sit there and hold everybody else responsible for you, and that's what we've been doing forever, is that we always want to hold everybody else responsible for you. Like you are like, we're not kids. Like there's a certain part that we have to say, I got to make better decisions for myself. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's and
to piggyback off of that, honestly, like at the end of the day, you don't know what was said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't assume that I didn't tell you how to try to manage your shit and you wasn't listening.
True.
You know what I mean? Like don't assume that I say, hey, this is what you should do with your cash, or this is what you need to do. Look how I set mine up. And you decided, man, fuck that. Money, hoes, and bitches, nigga. Let's do it. Like, whatever you decided to do is what you decided to do.
True story.
I'm with you on that, Black Zeus. Like, at the end of the day, like, I can't hold your hand. I could.
You know what it is for me, man?
Show you something, but Puffy still was ripping motherfuckers off.
I feel you.
And it's for me, it goes down to a lot of times when you think about our artists, particularly our Black artists, they're very young and they come from undesirable situations. And it's just like, for them, they're the one making it out of the hood, and having some medium of success. And there's a lot of added pressure to them to take the money and not fully understand, especially if they don't have the proper surroundings. And it's just like, for me, I struggle with the idea of the accountability part when you're young and naive and you come from a fucked up background, and now you're thrusting all of this money on them and you're thrusting all of these opportunities on them, and you're not giving them the proper structure.
But that sounds like the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And like, and that's
like,
I get
like,
that.
It's the same like the same thing Black Zeus said a minute ago. If you just so happen to win and become a millionaire through the lotto, you're not getting no financial management. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you just came into a bunch of money. Now the difference is, did you allow people to know that you came into that money? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because when people know that you have a certain, you get all these other arrows coming at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a bunch of sharks.
When they don't know, it's different. So but yeah, that's the pressure that they face, But if you know that you're trying to be that guy, then you need to start thinking like that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'll give you an example.
In this day and age, you can study. There's so many studies of people that have fallen from grace and have risen from the depths. So you should be able to, right now, grasp the bull by the fucking horns and rob the shit out that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Like, today, there's no excuse. I'm talking about the artists of the 80s and 90s and maybe early 2000s, where it's just like that sort of...
Shout out to Redman.
Yeah, that sort of information wasn't as readily available or easy accessible and stuff like that, Yeah,
but
what you about to say, Black Zeus?
How do you explain certain artists that have gone the distance, that probably got the same shitty contracts, this, that, and the other? How do you explain like an LL Cool J? How do you explain a Busta Rhymes? How do you explain, a Redman? How do you explain all these other artists that have gone the distance?
I would say sometimes it comes down to being fortunate to have good people around you.
Hey, the Locks broke out of that contract with Diddy.
Yeah, the Locks broke out of the contract with Diddy. You know what I mean?
But the wars
no more shiny suits.
But
free the Locks.
Free the Locks. Yeah, no more shiny suits. It's just like, but you got to think about the legal battles that they had to go through for that. You know what I mean? And who was there willing to assist them in those legal battles. And I think for like you said, the people that you just named, like the LL Cool J's, the Redmans, and whoever else who managed to come from similar backgrounds but still have some success later on in life, you got to think about people who look out for you. Like, look at AI. There was a dude who saw AI, said like, this motherfucker's about to run through all this money. I'm going to set up several $1 million in an annuity so that he can't touch this shit to fit, when he turns 50. That's somebody who cared for him. You don't get a lot of people who care for you in that industry like that.
It's true.
And they'll look at you and they're like, you's a sucker, and we're going to milk you for a sucker. I remember watching when Mike Tyson did a tour of his...
sucker, and I'm going to milk you for a sucker.
Yeah. And the whole thing is that, like, that happens every day. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
When you started college, did you not get a whole bunch of credit card... a bunch of credit cards coming at you like approval for this, approval for that. And they know that you don't know anything about money. They know you ain't got no money, this, that, and the other. But that's you still had to be responsible.
But that's why they passed laws now where what they call predatory lending. They can't solicit to college kids like that anymore. Because they understand the ramifications of that.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Black Zeus. It's hard. I get it. I totally. But I also, I think a lot of times when you think about the the Black Robs, the DMX, it's just like, they didn't have good people around them growing up, and my heart goes out for that shit because it's just like no one took them to the side and said, that's not the way to move, bruh.
And that's the thing. We don't know that though, because
that's what I was about to say. You don't know how many times that happened.
For example,
but DMX was 14 when he was introduced to cocaine.
No, that's fucked up. I get that. But what I'm saying is
different. Yeah.
No, but let's say last year, right? Last year when we were during the shutdown and they were giving out that $1,200 stimulus, I reached out to a group of fellas that I know, right? And I said, listen. you got this money coming, just in case anything happens to you, maybe you should get some life insurance just in case, so your family isn't like, left out there broke. And maybe you should take some of that money and invest it. You could start off with a real small, simple stock. Like at the time I knew what was going on with gas and everything. I said, Exxon is at like $40 a share. There was a time where it was like at 80 some odd dollars a share. I said, pick up some Exxon stock at like $40 a share. Now this year that the shares are like up to 60 something dollars, so you would have made a profit of, 50% profit on that, no matter how many shares you bought. Do you think any of them followed my advice? Nope.
No. But at the same time, what's the average age of the friends that you were talking to about stocks and life insurance?
Between the youngest was 28. The oldest is 55.
Okay. You talking about 20, 55. I'm talking about artists. Like, yo, you got to think about artists like
these are grown-ass men. That's what I'm saying.
Talking, I get the grown-ass men.
These are grown-ass men, and they still...
You get no disagreements from me.
What artists you talking about?
I'm talking about artists.
Who's the young artists?
I'm talking about artists like DMX, because he was rapping. He said he was rapping since the age of 12. So like he had a mentor who was in the industry who was trying to mold him to be a rapper and shit like that. Like I'm talking about artists who got their
Lil
fame.
Wayne was like that. Lil Wayne started young as hell.
Yeah, and look at Lil Wayne now.
He's fucked up.
He's fucked up.
Wrong mentors.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about those. That's the demographic of people I'm talking about. I'm talking about motherfuckers who's young as shit. I'm talking about pre-25 who got all the success and very little positive mentors and role models around them.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm referring to. And then next thing you know, you gave them all this money and you giving them a stacked contract for them to sign, not realizing like, oh yeah, you ain't getting shit in royalties, you ain't getting shit in residual income, you ain't getting shit. You don't own any of this motherfucker.
You ain't getting shit, period.
Yeah. But it is what it is. All right, let's transition to some new. All right, fellas. Well, let's touch. Now that Kelvin's not here, we could do how we want to do. Let's touch on these two bit of news, and then we transition to the book. So this was interesting. So this is from Tampa Bay 10 News. Report: Tampa McDonald's offered $50 for people to show up for interviews. As businesses and restaurants continue to reopen during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, many are struggling to hire workers. One Tampa McDonald appears to have attempted to solve the problem by offering $50 for people to show up for interviews. The owner of this McDonald's says, at this point, if we can't keep our drive-through moving, then I have to pay $50 for an interview. This is from Casper. I kind of cut off his name. He told the Business Insider. Casper isn't the only one in this struggle. Businesses across the country are having troubles filling the jobs, which in turn hurt their ability to keep open with the demand for their products or services. Owner says that some would-be workers are worried about catching COVID-19. Others prefer to live off unemployment benefits that are significantly higher amid the pandemic. So businesses are struggling all sizes, and a lot of people are blaming unemployment benefits for the lack of worker shortage. What do we say, fellas?
That's the first thing my mind went to. It's like, when somebody doesn't want a job at McDonald's, if McDonald's got to pay you to apply, I'm like, that's got to be the unemployment. It's not that people are so scared of COVID.
No. Yeah. Because if they needed to get money and they needed to go to work, they would go to work. But at the end of the day, they gotta that employment is going to run out. That unemployment is going to run out. That ain't a forever grant. It's not a forever grant. You know what I mean? So everything's going to bounce back. And the other part is, this is why motherfuckers got a problem with letting these immigrants in. But y'all motherfuckers better start working, filling these jobs.
My man Smith took it there.
I'm just saying.
You didn't took it there. I wasn't even thinking about that angle.
I didn't think of that angle either.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that angle.
A lot of motherfuckers want to come work. It's a lot that want to come work.
I did not think about that angle, bruh. Damn.
And then you're gonna be shut out. Then you're gonna be like, "Yo, this is unfair." No, it's not unfair.
When Jose and Tanif take your job, it's like, "Welcome to McDonald's. Well, how can I help you?"
How can I help you?
SA, you forgot your fries.
Damn.
Hey, SA, you forgot your fries.
Damn, so you didn't give me food for thought on that one. I did not think about.
Like, it's a lot trying to come in.
Yeah.
Hey,
trying to work.
They trying to work.
Yeah.
So all that free money you trying to get when the jobs is no more there because they done filled up, you gonna be asked out. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop playing with that free money.
And then they're gonna continuously complain about illegal immigration.
Yeah, exactly. They're taking all the jobs, but no, you don't want to work. McDonald's has to pay people $50.
Yeah, that shit been going on for years.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. You think somebody that's kind of coming across the border need to be paid $50 to get an interview?
Yeah.
No, they don't need to be paid $50.
Damn. Well,
and we paying you $50 just for an interview.
Yeah, it's sad, man, that government has been so short-sighted in regards of how they been dispersing unemployment. Because motherfuckers was getting more money than like the article stated, and we talked about this in the past with our own anecdote. They was getting more money on unemployment than their actual jobs, which was crazy to me. I'm like, yo, how is that even reasonable and rational to do something like that? Like, to not have the proper systems in place to make sure that this person is at least getting equivalent or a little tad bit less than what they were getting as
a tad less, right?
Yeah. But
not to be getting 400 to 800 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think it might have been a little more than that, but at the end of the day, that's going to run out. Like I said, there are people that want to work, and the economy is going to change and shift because we're not doing all of this this admin munch shit with the artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? So we're not going fully robotic yet. Where McDonald's is fully automated, and you just go in and press the buttons, even though they got the kiosk now. Yeah, they got the kiosk though. They got the kiosk now where
that was the angle I was going to go with Black Zeus.
They're starting to do it, you know what I mean? Because they got that kiosk where you go in now and you giving them a reason to. Yeah, you don't want to work, so all right, cool.
See, Smith didn't fuck me up with the immigration thing that I wasn't thinking about. Yeah,
cut your overhead a lot.
I was thinking more of the technology aspect in regards to the kiosk and how you're just going to encourage employers, but until that moment, you're right, Smith. That immigration shit and them cats taking the jobs, motherfuckers can't be crying 5-10 years from now when you didn't have this hard accent person servicing you.
This hard accent.
It's just like you complaining and shit, and just like nobody wanted to work.
Yo, I got in my new Webster's IBBC dictionary. I got the Sky Daddy and I got the hard accent,
Facts, bro. Like
I like that. No, that I like
terrible.
Yeah.
All right, last bit of news. This is it's kind of lighthearted. So this is from the Guardian. So the Olympic committee has banned athletes from taking knees in podium protests at the Olympic Games. Athletes will not be allowed to take a knee or protest against human rights abuses on the podium of the Tokyo 2020 or the Beijing 2022 Olympics, after 2/3 of competitors polled by the IOC said that they supported a ban remaining in place, which is Rule 50. So how do we feel about no symbolic gestures or awareness to whatever causes is not allowed at the game?
Well, that last part that you said, I think I missed the last part because
two-thirds of competitors polled who's going to be competitors at the Olympic Games basically supported the ban.
Oh, okay. Then the other percentage must be the Americans, because I was watching a few athletes the other day on ESPN and they was like, that's bullshit. And we probably will not be going to the games.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to tell us we can't protest. Like, we're not trying to be out here with banners and things, but we're trying to be out here like John and Carlos Smith. You know what I mean? We just trying to raise a fist. You know what I mean? If I take a knee on my podium that I won, I should be able to express that. You know what I mean? And Tokyo shouldn't be trying to shut that down. Not at all. That's my belief. Like, you're going in saying, because already you're looking at it like this. You're already looking like, yo, black athletes be winning. Black athletes in America got a lot going on, and we don't want that shit to be broadcast internationally. That's what you're saying.
Or even other countries that got issues in their countries. That want to bring awareness to their shit, you know.
But most times it don't be other countries that do it. It be the Americans. We always want to buck traditions, motherfucker.
That's true. That is true.
Most times the Americans like, look, I'm got this T-shirt on that says yes, LGBT rights, motherfucker. Right? I'm just saying. You know, you don't see certain ones that's like for. Like, you got countries that still don't let women do certain things, but you don't see those countries speaking out in the Olympics talking about it. You know what I mean? But you do have our women that are starting to speak out more. And we have a lot of women athletes that go, and they're speaking out more like, look, you see this footage? This is what they give to men, and this is what they give us. This is the weight room. Like, this is the indifference. So motherfuckers going to speak out, and they're going to, if they have a situation out there that they want to protest, they're going to do it. And they should be allowed to do it. Because it's not just a protest in general. You already setting it up. It could be something that's happening out there that happens to me, and you saying I can't take a protest for that? I can't stand out for that? I can't speak about it? Fuck out of here. Nah. You're not going to shut me down and make me become a impotent mind and I can't speak out because I'm in your country. Nah, I'm a fucking American, and we don't give a fuck because we're filthy Americans, and we don't care about nobody but ourselves.
Black Zeus, real, what you got on this?
Real talk, I have to take a Rakim stance on it, where it's like, it's not where you from, it's where you at. You know, at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the Olympics is not your platform. The same way Kevin Samuels doesn't allow women to come on and spout all the bullshit that they spout about, like, you know, men oppressing them or whatever the case is on his platform. You know, you can't go on somebody else's platform and spout your political ideologies. You know, so in that sense, I'm like, I understand. I mean, I understand, because it's not your platform. If you want to make, you want to say something or do something, do it on your time, do it on your own platform, not on this platform, because this platform is not for you. As the individual, like, you are coming to compete in our event. You know what I mean? And you're doing it in our country, you know? So it's just like, yeah, you don't have that, you don't have that right to, speak out on our platform. You know what I mean? So I can't be mad at that. But my whole thing is that this is still an organization that's more concerned about somebody taking a knee versus, I'm trying to be PC, versus transgender women with male physiques competing against, naturally born women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
man, this is why I love this book
club. Where's your
priorities? Because y'all be bringing up topics I wasn't even thinking about. Yeah, because the IOC be letting the man. You're right, because this
where is your
the struggle for the blacks is different. Like, ain't nobody.
Like, what is your consistency here? And here's the thing. This is why all this stuff bothers me. Once again, it's just the fact of intellectually, we know that this individual was born a man.
Yeah.
All right. Regardless of how they identify, we don't. And the thing is, we change the rules as we see fit. We change the rules to be like, sex is gender is a social construct, but race isn't.
Yeah.
Race isn't. How much melanin is in my skin is not a social construct.
Exactly.
That you can be like objectified. That is a black man. Treat him like a nigga. shoot him dead in the streets. But if he can run, jump, or catch a ball, let's exploit him.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was saying, though, Black Zoo.
If the white man wants to say he's a girl, oh, well, that's different. For his own emotional and mental state, we should all acknowledge him as a woman. Because how do you know someone is a woman? Because of what's between their legs? Yes, that is exactly how we know.
Yeah. And like I said, I told y'all before a few weeks ago, that was the one thing I did agree with Trump on. There's some bullshit. You got these men breaking women's records and shit.
Yo, man,
calling
I
them
feel
women. That shit is bullshit. But
Smith, your daughter play any sports?
No, she does. She's art and she plays the piano and draws.
Good,
and paints
because
and
now
shit.
she don't. She's not having to deal with.
But she wants to run track and field though.
Well, hopefully, Little Nas X doesn't show up at the meet.
Yeah, but that's the
Little Nas X is trans now.
He's man, I don't know what the hell that
really is.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. He's definitely swinging for the other team, I think.
But that's what I was saying towards the protest,
definitely.
because if something happens to you, and I get the whole Rakim analogy, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. If something happens to me there, though, I shouldn't be able to protest what happens to me there. That's why I said I don't have to come with a preconceived notion of I'm coming to protest and have a T-shirt. But what if something occurs to me over there? What if I am a trans and I get hate over there? I'm not supposed to bring it to the attention. I'm not supposed to say, speak out when the media is talking to me and say, hey, this is what's happening to me. This is how I'm being treated. Yeah,
but that's not your platform. So imagine if you have a Facebook page.
But they're asking me how the Olympics is going for me. I'm not supposed to tell them honestly how it's going for me? Because I'm a trans and I'm not supposed to speak out and tell them that people are calling me fucking name. I'm not supposed to say that? Come on. What do you mean it's not my platform? That's my business to say that. What do you mean it's not my platform? That is my platform. They asked me the question.
Yeah.
How the fuck is it not my platform?
But you know that because you know the fact that when they ask you the question, they're not asking the question. It's kind of like when somebody says, how you doing? They don't really want to know that your dog died, your bank account went over, your wife cheated on you. When they say, how you doing? They just want you to give them a rhetorical answer. It's all right.
But that depends on the athlete they're talking to. Because I think when John Carlos and Tommy Smith did the fist in the air, I don't even know if they had pre-talked about that. You know what I mean?
Didn't.
I don't think I think it was just a gesture that happened in a moment. You know what I mean? It just happens. It just happens. Some instinctive thing that says, at this moment, I need to do this. You know what I mean? You do it. And then you follow suit. You know what I mean? At this moment, if I'm moved, like I win a gold medal for my country and a lot been going on, and they playing my national anthem, but I'm moved to take a knee or I'm moved to walk off the podium, that'll be fucking up. But I'm moved to put a fist in the air. You know what I mean? Whatever I move to do, I should be able to be moved to do that. This is the platform where I need to express myself. I'm an athlete now.
So
what you're saying, Black Zeus, is you treat me like the white people and saying I need to shut up and dribble. And I don't appreciate that.
I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you that this is the way that it's being perceived in a way. So imagine if you have a Facebook page, right? And your friends want to put out their emotional whatever baggage on your Facebook page. Is that cool with you? That they're using your billboard, your name, your title, your page to put out their message?
It depends on, like you saying, if I speak to them about that, because we're saying they spoke.
If you speak to it and you agree to it, But here's the thing: everybody's got a cause.
It's not right. It's not right, but it depends on the circumstance. You know what I mean? It depends on the circumstance. I'm sorry, it does depend on the circumstance.
Okay,
so if a woman over there, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go all the way left. If a woman over there gets raped, she's not supposed to speak about that on the platform, and she got gang raped because of a situation in the Olympics because they were quieting people. She's not supposed to speak about that shit. I'm just saying.
Okay, so
and then she's not supposed to have a protest against the treatment of women.
Let's go all the way left. All right, let's go all the way left.
You know what I mean?
Let's go all the way left. Athlete
and women
number
are not
one.
supposed to support her?
Hold on. Athlete number one wants to talk about rape. Athlete number two wants to talk about police brutality. Athlete number three wants to talk about the injustice of apartheid. Athlete number four, everybody's got a cause. So if you hold on, let me finish. So if you allow one person to speak on their cause, you gotta let everybody speak on their cause.
But this is what I said about the cause. It happened to me in your country.
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. That's different, no? I'm not talking about just coming over here with a planned cause.
I think the issue is
in your country. I can't speak about it when it happens in your country.
Well, I think
if a racist act happens in your country, I can't speak towards that racist act that happened in your country at the Olympics.
No.
Well, I don't.
Why not? Why? I don't understand why I can't speak about
that's kind of crazy to me. If something happened in your country,
I don't understand that. It happened in your country.
I understand. Listen. I'm not
hold on. Remember, check it out. Remember the Olympics? Old boy did the thing where they did the robbery, the fake robbery. The swimmer dude.
At the Brazil Olympics,
At the Brazil Olympics, and it came back and it cost him in America. Yes, that all happens. All these countries are interconnected when it comes to Olympics, and I should be able to speak out because it happened in your country. You cannot silence me.
What is his name? He was a douche.
I forget his Ryan Locke.
Ryan Locke. Yeah, there we go.
I cannot come over here and talk just willy-nilly and protest, but if something happens in your country, to me, if police brutalize me in your country, I need to speak about it, and I should have that right. That is my right in my platform. It is.
Last word on this, and I think what it is, they've been monitoring these sort of, expressions on these sports networks and these sports programmings, and unfortunately, as much as I appreciate the gestures to some regards in regards of wanting to express how you feel about a certain topic or an event, it makes for bad business, because what they're looking at is, when you look at the NBA ratings, you look at the NFL ratings, you look at NHL, you look at MLB, one of the things, and I was reading an article about this guy, and he said, there's a hard truth that needs to happen. Most people don't want these sort of expressions in their sports. They just want to watch the games, whatever they're watching, and to take their mind away from real life events and do that.
And I think the point.
And I think, if you have everyone, advocating for their cause, it makes for an unwatchable Olympic
event. Once again, it's not
I get
platform.
that. I respect that.
Yeah, that's my point.
It makes for an
that's why I said it's not
event.
your platform. If you let one person do it, you got to let everybody do it, regardless of what country it happens in, this, that, and the other. And the whole thing is, it's not the platform for it. It's like the news. The news, they make their money off of bad news. They don't make their money off of telling you good shit.
They get their base ratings off of bad news. Yep.
Exactly. They're not going to get their ratings off of, hey, here's some cops that actually helped out a family and bought them food or something like that. Because shit like that does happen. But the whole thing is, that's not how they make their money.
You're right. I mean? And I agree. But like you said, they're not talking about the trans talk. All this is set up because of the goddamn blacks. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It's about the Negroes. They ain't thinking about the trans talk. They're not saying, hey, we don't protest the trans talk. They're going to skip over. You do. But you that's got not what this. But
no. What I'm saying is you
listen. Look at the history of the Olympics. How many countries have spoken out?
Well, wasn't there an issue with the Iranian? No, there was a
What did the Iranians do?
This was, I think it was the 1974.
And I got a question. What is the most memorable protest at the Olympics? The goddamn Americans.
But see, here's the thing. Americans, we're very narcissistic in regards of what's memorable. Because globally, most people don't even remember on a global level what John Carlos and Tommy Smith did. If you go to most countries,
that's not true, because it's imagery. Because they were silent in their protest.
They were silent in their protest.
Listen, in other countries, they have statues of them just like they do over here, man.
What I'm saying is, most people, when you talk about American history, most people don't know certain events. What I'm saying is, to wrap
that's
this
like
up.
you. That's like you trying to say people don't remember Jesse Owens. People remember the first blacks when they do shit, bro. Trust me.
Right.
I don't care what you're telling me.
I get you. I get you. No, you're absolutely
right. They remember.
Right. They do.
Trust me, they remember.
You know what it is?
It's on first. That's why blacks are still always the first in something, and they still say we got to be the first. I told you all a few weeks ago. I hate that they say, "Oh, we got to be the first to do this," but it's like, "Oh, they are the first to do this." They always remember. Trust me. Don't let the history try to impede itself on you. It's there.
I think, but ultimately, if you just to what Black Zeus was getting at, when you talk about people then having to express themselves for various different causes.
Oh no, I get that. I agree with that.
Yeah, it makes for an unwatchable event, and when you got big time sponsors on this network, on this fucking event, and they're looking like, yo, motherfuckers ain't tuning in. I'm not getting my residual income based on, my return on investment.
Even in the commercials. Even in the commercials. If you look at the commercials during these sporting events, they're always very uplifting commercials. All right? They're not playing that sad, like, oh, for only 75 cents a day, you could feed a starving child in Ethiopia or some shit. You know what I mean? Because the fact that they're like, nah, homie, you're going to bring our ratings down. Nobody wants to see this shit right now. People having their drinks. People having a good time.
Flies in the eyes.
They're proud of their countries and shit. They proud of their countries and shit. And here it is. Like one moment you're sitting there and feeling proud. Hey, look, America, we're winning. Michael Phelps is swimming his ass off. And then all of a sudden, 75 cents can feed a child for just the price of a can of soda, like, and they show you this kid with the swollen belly and shit and like screaming and crying, like, come on, man. Like, the reality is everybody's got a fucking cause. You can turn on YouTube any day and somebody's going to, what are you talking about? The vegans and shit, talking about, oh, you're eating all the animals and shit. And people that are like animal lovers have a cause. People that are global warming have a
climate
cause.
Change,
climate change. Everybody's got a fucking cause.
Greta Thunberg, yeah.
Everybody's got a fucking cause. And if you say, well, yeah, you can speak on your cause, you gotta let everybody speak on their cause.
And it makes for an unwatchable event. It really would. It just would, man. Like one of the things about the NBA ratings with the last finals, they had one of the worst ratings in decades.
But see, listen, I think that, again, we're talking about speaking out about a cause and doing a silent action against a cause. They're not the one and the same.
It is speaking out. When you are doing the silent action, whether you're kneeling or you're...
No, I'm saying, so what is the trans silent action? What is the women's rights silent action? Because I don't know what those look like. So, again, I'm going to say, when you do a silent
They don't need to do a silent action.
It's only for Black Americans. It's 2 silent causes you can do, bruh. You can do the fist up, you can do the kneel down. What else the silent cause is there? What, doing a heart with your fingers like this? Is that the silent cause over your heart?
I get where you're coming from.
I'm just trying to figure out. Where are the other symbols? Where are the other symbols of protest?
Stop. Here's the thing. If you want that, you're going to have to do the same thing as the LGBT and the feminists do. Get together as one powerful group and make that money move.
I'm just saying, where's the symbols for that? I don't know.
They don't need to have symbols for that.
So then where's the protest?
They don't need to have...
If I hold my head down that's a protest, and I don't hold my head up, that's a protest.
I don't know, man. They wear their colors and dye their hair green.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If you hold your head down instead of up, you hold your head down and your fist are clenched over your private. Is that a protest?
I don't know. Maybe you're taking a piss. I mean, why is your fist clenched over your shit? I don't understand.
No, you know how people have their hands like, you're standing up. And your hands are down like this, like you're just standing. Your head is down and your hands are down, like
My man Smith gave us the nut shot.
Yeah, no, I'm saying,
seriously.
I'm saying, is that a protest?
Without that,
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know if
it's a protest.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's a protest.
I don't know.
Or could I be in my feelings and be emotional? I'm saying, so that way you can't say what a protest. A protest to me is not any gesture. A protest to me would still be something that you're either speaking loudly about, where you're voicing your opinions about things, or you got signs, or you got some kind of signage. If you do symbols, yes, that is a symbolic protest, but I don't think the silent protest should be banned from the Olympics, because it's not.
Here's the one thing.
If I do a peace sign, is that a protest? I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know, but you know what? I would not like if you walk off, if you don't show up to the podium and you.
That's what I said. That'll be That's what I said. That's bad.
That's bad.
That's the only thing I said that I think is like that. I think that's the one that's bad.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's bad.
Not coming to the podium. Yeah. I think that's bad. I think that's like disrespectful to all countries.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the only thing I think is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Yeah, everything else is like whatever. I think they're concerned about their ratings, but if you don't show up to the podium, that's fucked up.
I think that's bad. Yeah, I think that's really bad. I think that's really bad.
Here's my last comment on this. Everybody's gestures are different to everybody. You know what I mean?
True.
The whole thing is, believe it or not, in some countries, doing this is like giving you the fuck you.
Yeah, true.
All right. Here in America, this is a good job.
Yeah.
In some other,
and depending, if I'm using my left hand or my right hand. Yeah, if I'm using my left hand, it's definitely a fuck you. And it's a shitty fuck you too.
Yeah. So it's just like, the whole thing is, it's just best not to piss nobody off, because if this is supposed to be a worldwide event, it's supposed to bring people together, this, that, and the other. Let's not, start doing all that to bring it apart. You know what I mean?
This shit ain't bringing nobody together, but I can dig it though.
And here's the thing. If you are an Olympic winner, right, and you are a gold medal winner, bronze, whatever the case is, now that your name is out there, you can create your own platform for that.
That's true.
You can create your own platform for that.
That's true.
All right. Everybody know who the fuck Michael Phelps is. So if Michael Phelps, remember this motherfucker was partying and shit. He was all in the news because he was fucking partying like a regular fucking teenage kid and shit, or a 20-year-old and shit. It's just like, you already have a platform. As soon as people know who the fuck you are, you have a platform. Usain Bolt. If Nike doesn't sign up a fucking contract with Usain Bolt and shit, that shit would be crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, once you know who somebody is, you got a platform. You don't need to do it there.
Yeah. No,
anyway, look. Moving into the book.
Yeah, moving into the book. We spent a healthy 1.5 hours, Mr.
Yeah, Kel would have been gone by now. He's like, all
right, he would have not. Kelvin would not approve of today.
Yeah, he'd be like, you got 4 minutes for the book.
He would not approve.
2.5 minutes.
I'm like, yo, hold up, bro. I can't get you to hang out for past 10:45, but you want me to wear a Hawaiian shirt. The hell?
Man, he jetted out at 10:45, and he had nothing. He had that week off.
Yo, disrespectful, I swear.
Oh man, we wrapped up a phenomenal book. The Origins by Dan Brown, selected by my man Black Zeus. So we're wrapping it up. So we got several questions. Probably won't get up to all of them, but we'll just tackle them. So we'll start off with Black Zeus because this is his book. So first question. The Dark Age was during the thousands of years that religion reigned over society. There was slavery, bloodshed, human sacrifice, holy wars, witch hunts. In the few hundred years that science has emerged, we had innovations in society such as medicine, world travel, agriculture, and technology. In chapter 73, Robert found Edmund's password where he remembered the words of his professor. Which would you choose, a world without religion or a world without science? What's your answer? Hey, yo, Smith, you that was one of your questions, right?
I had a question similar to that, yeah.
Yeah. I saw him follow up. I'm like, did he not read my question?
Yeah, what would you have?
Because Winston was asking that. And I said, would you like to live in a world of technology or a world of religion? Yes, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same, because I was like, I just saw Smith. Yeah. We wanted to take a stab at it first. I think it's about to be a unanimous panel, but go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I think, man, for me, it's a no-brainer. I could deal with the world without religion.
Bingo.
Yeah, it's relatively obvious why. Like Black Zeus, he didn't ran a gamut of reasons as to, during the reigns of religion, what's has been some of the outcomes. You didn't have holy wars that makes, for me, I still don't understand them. I'm going to be honest. Like, I try to watch CNN and MSNBC and these breakdowns of these, these Middle East wars over these lands and, the land over Christ. And I'm still trying to wrap my head like, really? But, and for me, just from an anecdotal, I've seen people who's been overzealous religious hacks and just how they ruin the lives of people's in their personal, surroundings, and all because of the sake of God. Just, God will take care of it, not do the proper things for their kids, for their spouses, for their siblings, because, they feel like God would take care of it. Is that sort of ignorant sort of philosophy that they have, and it's just like, I could just do without it, man. And when like Black Zeus brought up, like when you think about how simplified our civilization has been since we've allowed technology to do the things that it has introduced, it's just like, yeah, technology, science, hands down.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on that. Science and technology. It was a good question, because if you ask a religious person, like a stout religious person, they would go with religion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say that science is right now what's getting us out of this COVID-19. So we can have religion as much as we want, but religion wouldn't allow us to come out of this COVID-19, all the prayers that we did. It's the science that's getting us out of it. So yeah, all that dark ages and witch hunts. I like how Black Zeus phrased that, because the science is what I think still moves us forward. The science is what's allowing us to see if Mars is going to be, we just had a drone up on Mars, but science is allowing us to see if we can use Mars, since we fucking killing the planet. Science allow us to know that we understand that we are killing the planet. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the science. It's not the religion. The religion is a faith-based thing. It's a hope-based thing. We can hope for all we want, but without that science, you know what I mean? It's still like what I said before. Yeah, you could be religious. The vaccine is supposed to do something different, but you could be as religious as you want, but your God should be telling you that if you need a blood transfusion, this is what you need to survive. You can't say, I'm just going to keep it in the hopes of the prayer. That science, medicine, technology, them shits is like hand in hand. So I'm going to definitely go with the science and technology on
that. Make it unanimous, Black Zeus.
Well,
no, Black Zeus is a religious dude.
You're horrible for that, man. You're a terrible person for that. Here's the thing, if I have to pick one, it's going to be science. It's absolutely hands down. It's just a fact of science. It has better utility. Is based in objective reality. It is not manipulated. To brainwash people or this, that. Yes, if anything, is used to educate. The whole thing is with religion is that, like I said, all the things that, religion has brought, and I can't completely run religion over, because it has brought a few good things, like marriage, family, this, that, and the other. But I think a lot of the things that religion, the good parts of religion that have come through time, can be replaced with philosophy. The whole thing is, like I've told Bradley before, I'm not a religious man. I don't think
any one of us currently on this panel are.
I'm not, yeah. I'm not, I'm not what, I'm not like a Edmund Kears, like, atheist type of dude or anything. I'm more of an existentialist philosopher, Like my views is that we build the life that we have, that we are empowered by, our ability to determine who we want to be and what we want to do with our lives. And and I'm a big philosopher who's always looking into introspection of like myself, the world around me, and things of that sort. It gives me a better understanding of how to move in the world. And I think that if we actually taught that to our kids, and got them to understand philosophy and how to think and how to reason and how to see things from different angles, there'd be no need for religion. I mean, religion's already on a decline as time goes on because people are seeing the hypocrisies and the damage religion has done. But I don't think religion's ever really gonna, be completely gone, shall I say, because the whole thing is, the one thing about religion is that it's instilled in us from childhood. And when it has such deep roots, it's kind of hard to rip that shit, rip that shit out completely. Even if you're like, oh, well, I no longer believe in, Catholicism or in Judaism, Buddha, this, that, and the other. I think that there's still going to be this deep-seated belief in some sort of supernatural or creator of something. You know what I mean? Like there's something beyond what we know. And that, I think that's what's always going to be within us. It's just in our nature, but like if I have
is
to
it
pick
in our nature
because
we didn't know, as like you said though, like we are becoming more advanced. We have information now to explain some of the unknown, not all of the unknown. Like I think this was probably one of my questions. Like,
well,
don't you think at some point we're just going to have a significant amount of people who are just not going to be religious because they just realize that there's too much.
I think with time, yes. But the whole thing is the fact of, I think like, so here's the thing. When I say it's deeply rooted in us, evolutionary wise, it's deeply rooted in us because it's like, during our time, in the past on the savannah or whatever, if you heard, a rustle in the bushes and you thought like, oh my God, there's a predator there, it might have been just the wind, but because you thought there was something in there, you ran away. You automatically assume, you made that assumption, you ran away, that there was something alive in there because the bushes don't move, X, Y, and Z. So you ran away. Now, the whole thing is, if you ran away and there was no predator, no big deal. If you ran away and there was a predator, you stayed alive. Now, if you were someone who just thought logistically and said to yourself, oh, it's just the wind, and then there was a predator, you were dead.
But I think that's what it is. It's that. The religion is that faith hope thing. Yeah. And the science is the proving, I can prove that that's the win. I can prove that it's not a lion. I can prove that, not going off the faith or the hope or the belief that there's something there because I can't prove it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part of it. Even when Kirsch was talking about in the book, and it's saying like, they created they was able to figure out with the vials and create the ooze and start getting back the DNA. But at the end of the day, what was the thing or the thought or the intellect that created that ooze? See, that was still the question that he was asking. Like, I got the ooze, I got the science of it. But no, he did that. He said, but what created what was the thought or what was the connection that created that? What's the thing that created this to be able to put the universe in perspective or put the universe in places like it is, like something in created it for it to be so organized. What created this organization? Did the science create this organization? Or was there something else? And remember that Robert and Edward believed that there was still something greater than the science.
Because Edmund wasn't a staunch atheist.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't a staunch atheist, which was a good revelation at the end because I thought he was.
Not at all.
He's just anti-religious.
Yeah.
He's just anti-religious. And that's different.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. I'm sure that religious and spirituality, them shits are different. People don't
understand. And just for the record, because I was a little bit bothered, about what they said about the Miller-Urey experiment, because I know about the Miller-Urey experiment and it's still being done today in biology. In the Miller-Urey experiment, something did come out of it. Amino acids came out of the
amino acids.
came out of the experiment. That's why it's a famous experiment. If nothing came out of it, it would have went dead and nobody would hear about it. But, you know, in reality, amino acids came from it, and those amino acids are what gave us RNA. RNA was what gave us DNA, you know.
But that's, you know, but they said that. They said that in the book, though. They said that in the book that amino acids came out.
But he said it like he found it.
And no, he was saying that they had amino acids after they had been in there for like 50 years. They found that it was amino acids, but what happened was it was more than that, but they couldn't speed it up. He was able to speed up the process through that.
Correct, because it was like
intelligence. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay, because like the whole thing is like, this is what I was telling the Kel, like, yo, I can't sit here and explain the whole thing to you because it is so complicated. There's so many more.
It's so vast.
It's vast. It's like if I had to sit up there and, because I've taken anatomy physiology classes, I've taken like so it's like if I had to sit up here and explain to you what a cell is made of, how cells create tissues create organs create, and the whole process. It's a long ass process that, you know, that doesn't happen overnight, but it does fucking happen all the fucking time. And it's just like, dude, like, you know, and that's why I get heat. I'm like, yo, you don't know the science. You're telling me, science says I don't know. Science says I don't know when it doesn't know
that this occurred.
Exactly.
Years.
Yeah, that's what Edmund said. He just doesn't have the time to speed up the process.
Like, you know, that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of working parts here. You know, it's a lot of working parts, and it's just like, you know, as someone who, you know, knows the science and, you know, has done the, you know, the research, and it's also part of my profession, you know. So it's just like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah. All right, let's jump into Smith's question. Did this book expose you to technologies you hadn't considered before by making science fiction more mainstream and accessible?
Honestly, this book did not hit anything that I didn't know about before. Only because I'm a geek, you know, and there were certain things I was surprised that he mentioned that I did know about, such as the computer chips, the microchips that they're putting into their testing right now in, I forget which country. They're testing microchips that they're inserting into your nervous system to basically.
Elon Musk company, Neuralink.
Elon Musk,
Neuralink.
Neuralink. So that way it'll tell you what's wrong with you and this, that, and the other. If something's going wrong, this, that, and the other. But there was no technology that was in this book that I wasn't familiar with. You know.
Correct.
But that's only because I'm a geek.
For me, it was no the technology. I think for me, it was the history. I'm not a history buff like that. So to have actual historical events that I wasn't privy to, and like a lot of times I think when we first started the book, I said, like Baghdad. I had no clue about that. I did not know, you know, the Middle East was the epicenter of science. I kid you not. Right? I did not know that. So I had to go back and look that up, and I was just like, damn, this is some facts here. So like for me, it wasn't the science, it was more of the history. Like that like Dan Brown put into there. That was some good shit. Like it really made me had to like look up articles, and still like even now I wrote down some stuff that I needed to go back and, you know, familiarize myself and even learn some more about.
That's why I was saying, see those places that I had sent you all, where you could
landing world. That was dope.
Try to be in there where he's talking about, but it's still like the some of the it didn't. I knew like the technology. I was impressed about where they were putting the technology in this book, though. You know what I mean? Like to put a supercomputer in the cathedral, like science versus God. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that is deep. Yeah.
That was crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna put that in the cathedral, like, and just to use some of the nuances that he was using, like you say, he wasn't a staunch atheist. Because he was using God a lot.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, but that was, you know, that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Nah, it was dope though, man.
Yeah, I love the history in there. I definitely love the
history. The history was astonishing, bro. Like I
really
really didn't know.
A lot of great information The only thing was I'm not that well versed in the art history. That's the only thing.
No, that's like, what I told you before. That was very impressive. So I'm like,
like wow. When he got into like William Blake, I was like, who the hell is William? I'm like, now I gotta look up William Blake's art, historical work. I'm like, geez, but yeah, he referenced a lot of people and a lot of events that I'm just like, man, I got a lot more reading to do.
Daniel Brown, he puts you in places that you say, oh, I need to go see that. I need to see what that's. I need to get that experience. Yeah, that's how it's built up. Like I need to get that experience. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yo, on some real shit though, I wish we had the book club last week because I came around last week when we were doing up to chapter 72, realizing it wasn't the bishop that when it was revealed, I forget which chapter it was, when Edmund had cancer. I was like, oh, Edmund, I kid you not. I wanted to say this last week. I was like, yo, Edmund set himself up to get killed. I wanted to say it last week, but now it doesn't feel like it's genuine because obviously we're wrapping up.
No, go to the next question. And you're going to just fast forward all the way. You ain't go through the questions. How you going to fast forward till he got killed?
Oh, my bad.
Our listeners don't know that he got killed and set himself up.
Terrible.
Thank you. Sorry for the spoiler.
That's what a book club is about. We spoiled the book.
But the whole thing was Edmund didn't set himself up.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
That was one of my questions.
But in a way, he kind of did.
Yeah. Nope.
All right. All right.
He didn't.
All right. So I think the biggest question is, do you think that AI was justified in making the decisions that it did? It did get the results Edmund wanted. It was justified. Edmund had terminal cancer. Like, there was no turning back. And the dude was talking about offing himself.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's the question.
He was talking about offering himself at the presentation, which was wild. I was like, bro, you gonna really just digest a pill to kill yourself? Like,
okay, but he was just having thoughts. We all have thoughts. The AI took
my man then brought up the chatter.
The AI took those thoughts and expanded on his thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Let's
thought
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I thought about it, and I'm like, if I was Edmund, that's the way I would have wanted to go out.
Yeah.
Not to be like, not to be, no pun intended, but I would have wanted to go out with a bang. And what more of a pow, a punch in the mouth could it be than for on national television, on the internet, while millions of people are watching, for you to be assassinated?
Exactly. Because one of the things
Edmund wasn't thinking about getting assassinated. He was thinking
he
about
wasn't.
Pills.
But that's what I'm saying. He wasn't thinking about it. But the whole thing is, what better way could that shit have gone down?
Because that was Winston in artificial intelligence. He did some homework and said, you know what? This will increase it by like 600% because people like death. And Robert like, ho, stop talking to me, bro. Like, I need to get the hell off this subway car because this brother is killing me with this. Like, this artificial intelligence is telling me that basically we like
Edmund
death.
wanted his death to be that way, though. Because here's the thing.
Did he want his death to be that way? Did Edmund ever say that, really?
Because
here's the thing. Would he want his death to be swift versus like this slow death that he was dying within weeks and months? Like, have you ever seen someone die of cancer? They wither away from the inside out. You're literally rotting from the inside out.
He ordered the stuff that he needed to kill himself. He contemplated killing himself on stage with the stuff he ordered. He wanted to go out being assassinated. Remember, he wasn't supposed to get assassinated, right? He was supposed to get shot at. No, he was supposed to get assassinated, but the police, jumped the gate. That's what it was. Because Winston set him up to get caught. He was supposed to get caught so he could tell the story about Winston setting this all up.
Yeah.
But he jumped the fence and he got away. You know what I mean? And what Winston said was, that's the only thing about human beings. They're unpredictable. They're not like computers. They're unpredictable. Computers are predictable. We do exactly what we're told. We do exactly what the code says.
Well, the thing was, Edmund wanted I think he wanted that sort. Like, I think he's content with that sort of death. If he were to like have this sort of like ability to assess the situation, because he didn't want to die from cancer, because obviously one of the things that was profound that he mentioned was just like Christopher Hitchens, who's like one of the most, widely known atheists. When he died from cancer, people, made fun of him and mocked him and said, that's what you get for, talking bad about God. And God didn't strike you with cancer.
Even to the end, he stood his ground.
He stood his ground.
Even
so it's just like, Edmund didn't want that. He didn't want people to mock his work by saying this is what happened when you talk ill about God. So I think he would have been content with Winston's actions setting up Admiral killing him. I think he's cool with that, because now it has this very religious person versus this person who's,
but no, remember, he was trying to set it up. Yeah, he was trying to set it up to make it look like the Parmenian church had killed.
The Parmenian church
they never had nothing to do with it. They had spoofed the number. Winston had spoofed the number and all that. But I think when, like, at the end of the day, I think the conversations that Winston said that he was having with him, I think Edmund would have been like fine with it. I think he would have been content with how it went down.
Yeah.
I think Robert just couldn't believe that the computer could set it up like that.
All up. Yeah, that was wild.
And then basically delete his shit so you can never find a track of his shit, and it's just a hearsay story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's no existence of Winston at this point.
There's no existence of nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing is, I will say I was suspicious of Winston when he helped Robert and what's this girl's name? Amber. When he helped them escape, the Guadalajara when they were at the museum originally, and he shut out the lights, and then at that he misled them by calling them up on a cell phone and telling them, "Oh yeah, we see them. They're going down this way," and they're you know what I mean. He misled them. I'm like, oh, this computer's suspect.
Yeah, because that was I think that was the first week we started. And both of us said, we think it's Winston.
Like, when I saw that part, I was like, oh, this computer up to something.
They're like, this computer is up to, this computer.
Yo, like, that made me suspicious of the computer.
It's like, it can't be this guy. This is too obvious. It's not going to be Archbishop, dude. It's not going to be him. This is too obvious. This computer's up to something. Like, this artificial intelligence is way too smart. I would have liked to see, like, the imagery of the supercomputer, though. The two computer towers, because how they was talking about it, and when people would see it, they was like, that I didn't get to see that imagery. I put something in my head.
Yeah.
But what I got in my head is like, it's like it's almost like a monstrosity. It's so fucking big. I don't know if that's the
imagery I got is some iRobot shit. Yeah, like I don't.
Not for nothing. I was thinking along the same lines. I mean, have you ever been in a Catholic cathedral?
Yeah, when I went to Notre Dame in France.
Yeah, them Catholic, they're fucking huge.
They're huge, which makes me wonder. I was
born and raised Catholic. There was no such thing like these little small churches, these little Baptist churches, and these little. I'm like, this is tiny as hell compared to a Catholic church. Some things are huge.
Huge, and they're beautiful, bro. And you're just like, yo, this is some crazy ass technology that went behind the structure of this shit. During a time in which they don't possess the tools that we had.
It's like not as big as the it's wide, but not as long as the Twin Towers. But if you ever went to the Twin Towers and looked up, it's like that. It's like that kind of feeling. Like that shit. This supercomputer,
it makes you feel so fucking tiny.
Yeah, that's how big this computer is in my head. Like this shit is like, you know what I mean? Because it was floors to this computer. You can go up to the top and look down on it and shit and all that. Like that was crazy.
Oh man. But next question. I'm gonna skip this first part of the question. I'm just gonna go to the second one. How much responsibility does someone like Edmund has to bear for their followers' actions? So when the Admiral was saying that, like the whole setup behind having the Admiral kill Edmund, because the Admiral would basically blame Edmund for the death of his family, makes me think of recent events. You have the Maxine Waters, you got Trump, and it's just like, granted, these people have followers, but like they're not the one advocating for violence of any nature, but yet the admiral felt like Edmund needed to be done away with. So my question is, how much responsibility does?
No. Wait a minute. The admiral was paid to kill Edmund.
Yeah, but he was also motivated.
He was also motivated by the death of his family because the way it was spun was Edmund's teaching has basically caused this rift between science. And basically when the church was bombed, the admiral's family was in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is just like how much responsibility does someone like Edmund or any high-powered figure has for their followers?
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
On one side, it's like if you know you're someone who's influential and you have power. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. Beyonce.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Do you remember when Beyonce? Well, you probably don't remember this, but a number of years ago, Beyonce came out with an album, and she didn't even promote it. She didn't nothing was out. She just tweeted, "Oh yeah, I dropped my album today. Merry Christmas!" And all these chicks went out and bought it based off of a tweet.
It's like 4 years ago, maybe.
This was a while ago.
10 years. It wasn't 10 years. It happened. She put the album.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't 10 years ago, but it was nothing. She just put out one tweet.
Yeah.
She just put out one tweet saying, "Oh yeah, I dropped my album today. Merry Christmas," and all these chicks went out and bought it. Okay,
did it go platinum?
Like it sold it sold some ridiculous number.
Probably. Yeah,
some ridiculous number in the first day.
Yeah, it went platinum.
All right, some ridiculous number in the first day. And the thing is that why it's so mind fucking is the fact that she knows she has that type of power and influence that she doesn't even need to promote it. She just drops a tweet and boom, album sales going through the roof.
Yeah.
All right. Like that. Wow. When you know you have that type of influence, you should be held responsible for what you say.
Yeah, that's what it is.
When you know you have that type of influence, you should be held responsible for what you say.
For what you say.
If you're just Edmund Kirsch and you're saying, listen, this is the thing. It's like, we know that this, science has proven this, religion has been proven wrong on this. And he is just, he does what he does. He doesn't have a following per se, though, in the sense of like a Beyonce has a following where they're going to do what you tell them to do. He just makes predictions. He's a scientist. He writes, he does, he creates, he builds, that's all he does. He doesn't influence, if that makes any sense.
That's different. Yeah, no,
but that's what they were saying. That's what they were alluding that Edmund was building a following, especially when like Conspiracy Net. When he was
building a following with Conspiracy Net, but at the end of the day, he's not. In his respect, he wasn't responsible for his following because he's not saying go out and bomb, go out and he's not talking like that. That wasn't what he was saying.
He's not talking like that.
He was saying this is the science, and people are looking at the science. That's what Edmund was about. I'm exposing you to, this is the science of what I see.
Exactly.
This is the science.
It's kind of like,
I'm not telling you to go out and kill or destroy based off science. That's not what he was saying at all, ever.
I mean, it's kind of like in our time, if Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about, that, well, and let's say that the sun is going to turn to a red dwarf in a certain number of years, and 100 years or 1,000,000 years, 200 years, 500 years, is going to turn into a red dwarf, explode, and take out the planet. And then people say, "Oh, it's the end," and they start fucking killing each other or start doing some apocalypse. That you can't hold him responsible for that. He's like, "That's not what I said."
Exactly, that's not what I said.
Yeah,
but that's what people would do, and that's what they talk about in the book too. Like when you feel like it's the end, that's what they were saying about, if you expose this information, then people are going to feel like they don't have any hope. You know what I mean? They're going to feel like they don't have this. But at the end of the day, they got bent out of shape because Edmund didn't show them the whole clip. He didn't get into the tech part in the next family of what he found, the genus that he found, the next part of family. What was it? Techna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't get into that. They thought he found something else. They thought he had something different. they was all in an uproar because they didn't know what he had. Like at the end of the day, where are we from? Where are we going? Where are we from? Where are we going? Where are we from? Where are we going? That was the permeation of the whole fucking book. And when I saw where we were from, which I thought that was going to be the case, and where we were going, we're absorbing the tech, and we were going to, I could get that. But I thought that shit was going to be some kind of extraterrestrial, God-like, spiritual other shit that was going to happen.
Well, you jumped into another. Yeah, I thought, he messed me up with that one because
he did too. He got me with that one too.
Yeah, like the tech nigga.
I was like, what? What is it? What is
it? And the way, I don't know about you, but like the way they define technology, or they made the equivalence of technology being a species. Because
in a species.
Yeah, and I was just like why are you but how do you that was my question. It's just
that's the genus of it. The genus is the species. Yeah.
So what do we think of Edmund's big reveal?
I think that it is spot on because when you think about it, think about if one day, just one day, everybody's all right,
phone go down,
my house,
Wi-Fi go down.
All right, my house has a Google camera at the door.
Oh man.
It has a key, keyless entry, an electronic keyless entry on the lock. It has an ADT system. My central air system is controlled by a touchscreen panel. Like our Wi-Fi, it connects every fucking thing. So it's just like when you think of like if your tech went down for a day, how fucked up you would be.
And you've truly immersed yourself in the tech.
Yeah,
in tech.
That's what you've done. Yeah.
Like my business revolves around tech.
Like that.
Yeah. So it's just like tech has, like, we don't realize how much tech is really, like, think about this right here. We are communicating from miles away with one another within real time, seeing each other, speaking to each other, and it's insane when you think about it. It's like, there was a time when somebody sent out a letter, it would take like months to get to you.
And now we can look at each other like this, instantaneous. But
on the other side of the planet.
He was like, look, where the tech was the black dot, we were the blue, and we started to immerse ourselves and we absorbed tech. People have AirPods, and I got on these headphones. Y'all got a headphone. People got AirPods. Like, we've immersed ourselves, and that whole Neuralink is all about immersion. The whole trying to put the other link into your eye where you can see the other shit, like it's a dashboard in your fucking car. All that shit is the next level. Watch more of them sci-fi movies because that's where we're going.
And honestly, I believe the technology is already here. Like,
the tech is here.
Yeah.
It is here
Edmund
already.
said something that I firmly believe. A lot, like you said, the tech is here. It's a matter of how slowly they're rolling this shit out. They're not trying to dump it on us, because then it becomes this whole argument, and you're gonna have a lot of people, having these philosophical debates. But like, they're slowly.
So the rollout, right quick. My bad, Cass.
Yeah, no, go right ahead.
While it's on my head, you see the real ID. We got to get the real ID now, right?
I got it, bro.
Oh, you already got your.
I got the star on it. Yeah.
You got that. You know what I mean? Already, the tech is there. We're here already.
Yeah.
It's just about, we already have cars that can drive themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We already have things that can, the drones that can fly that Amazon has already tested.
Man, my neighbor got a drone.
But flying a drone to your house and dropping off your fucking groceries, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, it's here. We're here already. It's just about the next immersion of it.
Yeah.
How far, like, are we going to see the iRobot stage? Because in Tokyo and shit, they already got the robots doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Because their society has been groomed to embody technology in a way that.
Have you seen a walking dog? Have you seen a walking dog?
Yeah,
robotic dog.
Yeah, the Boston Dynamics.
Over here. That's over here in America now. We got that over here.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? And people are like, I don't like how that dog look.
Yeah.
And if you look in a movie. I forget what movie it is. They got the robotic dogs that look the same way that's attacking the people. Damn, I got to think of the name of this movie. I told you I watch a lot of movies.
Are you talking about the one? What's that damn movie called?
They're robotic dogs.
Yeah, they were robotic dogs, and they were attacking people.
Yes.
It was in that movie, the Golden Circle.
Golden Circle, was that it?
The Golden Circle with the Kingsman.
Yes, with the Kingsman. Yes.
Yeah, the Kingsman. They had the Golden Circle.
That was the second one. Yeah.
These crazy ass robotic dogs that was like going after motherfuckers.
And we got robotic dogs now. Come on, man. Like, listen.
Yeah, Domino's announced 2 weeks ago they about to make like they have been said it, but I think this week or sometime soon they're gonna have their driverless cars deliver pizza.
We're immersed in tech. We are immersed in tech.
Yeah.
When you can walk to your car and the doors open up, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
When you can. That don't happen on your car. Don't that happen?
Yeah, it is. It's dope as shit.
Yeah. Exactly. I like it. Lights come on and all that.
All that shit.
It is cool.
When I can be in this house and be like, all right, hold up 1 second, fellas. Let me hit this button. Boom. Start this car right quick. So, I'm about to be on my way, but I just want the car because it's cold. It's cold today.
It's cold today.
Or it's hot today. I want the car to cool off a little bit before I get in there. You know, I got leather seats. I don't want it to be too hot. I get it. Like, we already there. When the refrigerator is the TV and the ice and could tell you
you're out of milk.
And Black Zeus. I was about to say Black Zeus. You look like the type that had that refrigerator too.
That's the next one that's coming up.
Yeah, you're out of milk. You're low
and they'll
on
order
eggs.
you the milk. Yeah, that's dope.
Like, come on, man.
Dude,
like,
just my washer and my dryer. This shit, you put the clothes in there and it actually measures out the clothes and says, okay, you only need this much water for this much clothes. So you know how you normally wash a machine and it just fills up until
fills up to the top. Yeah.
What brand is that? Samsung?
This shit, LG.
LG. I'm about to say it's LG.
Okay.
Right? Yeah,
LG. That shit will actually analyze how much laundry you got in there and only use the amount of water you need for that much laundry.
Yeah, I would tell you, LG. Right. They
and
LG
that's
is innovative than a
motherfucker
too.
Oh, it's eco-friendly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely eco-friendly, and it's definitely cost-efficient, electrical wise, and everything else.
Yeah,
it's just expensive. It's
that's
everything,
man. Yeah, the forefront. That's everything. That's it. So I get the ring. So when Cash comes to my house, and I'm not at the house, I see as soon as he walk on the porch, my shit coming on. Yeah. Yo, what the fuck is you doing in my house, bro? You know I ain't there. You trying to go fuck my wife, nigga? You know I ain't in my house. Why you there? What the fuck you doing? But that tech, we already immersed in technology. We're already there. We're already absorbing it. And the social media part of it allows us to absorb it even more without even realizing that we're absorbing this shit. That's the flip of it. And like you said, you cut these phones off for a day from people.
Oh, bruh.
The suicide rate will probably go up.
You said suicide.
Bruh. You got stories now where people commit homicide, where someone would take someone else's phone and they're really ready to kill you for their phone. Not because it's like a gadget, it's because their entire life was on that phone. Matter of fact, that young girl attacked that young black boy.
Yeah, I was gonna
say.
She was just like, "Yo, my
phone."
Yeah, for her phone.
That's mine.
It's funny. I was just talking about that with somebody at the at my son's lacrosse game. He was saying like, yeah, you know, he was out there with his kids and he found somebody's iPhone, and he was he picked it up and figured, okay, I'll call the cops or something when I get home and figure if somebody, and the person used that, you know, find my phone thing.
Yeah.
Bing bong. They showed up at his door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she showed up at his door like, yo, do you have my phone? This, that, yeah. He's like, dude, I wasn't stealing your phone. I got a house.
I found it.
Yeah. A phone. You know, like
I found it. Yeah.
But that's how it goes down, man.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes down.
But
so yeah, we're definitely.
Like but he gave a 50-year timeline for this erasure of human civilization or this takeover of technology. You think it's 50 years?
That's the part. I
mean,
think
dude,
I think it's 50
like
years
this.
before we realize it. Let me say this right quick, guys. I think it's 50 years before we realize it. But I think one of the things that he also said in there was, remember how man is. Man is always trying to push some shit. He's always trying to go farther and farther and farther and faster and faster. And that's going to be the downfall right there. We're going to create some shit, like same way they created this fucking COVID shit. We're going to create some shit that we can't control. It's going to get out of fucking hand. And that's the problem.
Where Winston's just think on its own and does things that it thinks is right.
Yeah. I robot shit. Yeah. I do this shit because
Because it's logical.
It's artificial intelligence, man.
Yeah. So should Black Zeus, you think 50 years is gonna...
Let me say this before Black Zeus speak. If again, because remember they was talking about codes and patterns. Patterns is the fish jumping up and leaving a little ripple. A code is this. You give the computer the code to say, I want to make mankind the best it can be. That's all that computer knows.
Yeah.
And the computer does the algorithm to figure out how to make mankind the best. And if that's disposing of people, if that's doing whatever it needs to do,
yeah.
You understand? That's where that thought comes from. And if you put the code in that computer and give it that certain, the computer takes over and all he sees is a code. He's not human. And that's what the book was talking to. Yeah. The book, he becomes, this is what, and look, and guess what? I think this is the artificial intelligence says, I think this is in the best interest. I think you would respect this because you put a code in me to say, this is what you wanted. So I'm just giving you what you want. And the code only sees that. It doesn't see save Black Zeus. It sees, well, Black Zeus needs to be killed off because he has a leg wound. It's like, no, save him. That's how we think as humans. But the computer thinks, well, he's just going to take more of our provisions, so we need to get rid of him. He's just going to take more of the oxygen, so we need to get rid of him. That's what the computer's thinking. That's the part that's scary as hell. And 50 years from now, motherfuckers is pushing the envelope. I don't know. I don't think we'll have that kind of species of intelligence just yet. I don't think in 50 years. So you saying by the time I'm like
I'll be dead, yeah.
No, you won't. You won't be dead.
Bruh.
You won't be dead.
50 years from now, I'm 87. The average lifespan of
87?
I'll be 87. So they said the lifespan of a person is what, 70? So black male, 72, 73?
Okay, 72 for a black
man. I thought you wasn't the average black man.
That's one. You're not the average black man. I thought.
I thought you wasn't the average black man.
Aren't we talking? We just read a book about science. Science is expanding a life. That's the problem. Because man, again, he wants to push the envelope. Man don't want to die. Man want to live forever. So you got to remember this. We talk about man in science. Man wants to dominate. He wants to live forever. He wants to stay youthful. Botox. He wants to change his sex. This is what man wants to do. Man wants to do everything.
These old heads with these Botox look crazy.
Doesn't matter. But man wants to do everything. Man wants to do everything to stay 21. So the advances that's coming out, well, when we get to the part where hey, Black Zeus, do you mind me doing this trial of cryotherapy on you and freezing you for 15 years?
I ain't trying to do no dumb shit like that.
No, but this is where we're going, bruh. Like, this is where we're going.
All right, Black Zeus, what you got on the time frame? You think 50 years from now, this sort of human elimination and emergence of AI completely taking over, being the new species that takes over? What's your time frame on all this?
50 years does seem reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
We are, like, real talk. There's two parts to this. Now, on the AI side, where we're all afraid that the machines are going to take over, they're already taking over. So, like, let's say like the self-driving cars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People cause accidents. Robotic cars won't cause as many accidents. Yeah. All right. People, we all been on the road and see the motherfucker make a right turn from the left lane. We all seen somebody speed up at the yellow light to try to catch the yellow light. We all seen somebody take a corner, without touching their brakes. Guilty. You know what I mean? We've seen people drive down a one-way street the wrong way. We've all seen this shit happen.
Done that mistake once. Yeah.
People make those mistakes, but a machine would not make those mistakes.
Nope.
All right. When you're on your GPS, does your GPS ever send you the wrong fucking way? You know what I mean?
It sent me a longer route than I wanted to. If I know
it might
the area.
take you a longer route, but the whole thing is that route might be the most logical route. But the whole thing is, that's the thing, is that machines are designed to make logical decisions. Mm-hmm. And that being said, that being said, and it's gonna sound fucked up, but I'll take that bullet. You know,
you about to say some more bitch shit. Go ahead. Go ahead. He's like, half of these motherfuckers need to be gone anyway. Go ahead. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. You about to say half of these motherfuckers need to be gone anyway.
We are at 7 billion people on the planet, you know. And the whole thing is, if we keep, you know, populating and growing 2-3 kids per person or per couple, this, that, and the other, we will be at like, you know, 20-30 billion within the next 50 years. We already know that global warming is happening because of us.
Yeah.
We already know that there's a limited amount of resources, you know, on the planet for all of us. And we're not taking the responsibility of saying, let's stop fucking making all these goddamn babies. Because there's not enough resources for all these damn babies. We're not putting enough back into the planet to be taken out as much as we are taking out of the planet. You know what I mean? So we will be our own destruction anyway. You know, we will be our own destruction anyway. I mean, and here's the thing, real talk. It's like, it's going to sound fucked up once again. If you were on a farm and you had a mentally challenged pig or a cow or whatever the case is, or is physically morbid or dysmorphic or this, that, and the other, you'd put an end to that shit. But in our society, we save everybody. Don't matter how mentally challenged that they are, and that physically challenged, and we know that this person will not have a normal life. This person will always need somebody to take care of them.
They will always be a ward of the state.
They will always be a ward of the state, and we still say, nope, keep them all alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
keep them all alive.
And a religion has religion has a lot of hands on that sort of thinking too.
Yeah, every time you see a bunch of people at the abortion clinic with those pickets, they're picketing the abortion clinic. Those are 90% religious people.
Yeah.
That like, you know,
they are 90% religious people.
They're 90% religious people.
Yeah, I be saying the same shit. I be like, yo, this person is clearly, their mental, physical capabilities will never be there. Their contribution to, and it's fucked up. I be thinking this shit. I be like, yo, their contribution to society is zero. But yet they're receiving so much government assistance. This shit doesn't even make any sense. And my wife be like, don't think like that. And I be like, all right, let me stop thinking.
Yeah, see, but that's our humanity. Our humanity makes us illogical and makes us do things like that. And it's just like, think about the resources. So, for instance, I don't want to say this around my wife, but the whole thing is like one of her kids, any one of the special needs kids that she has in her school, it costs about $80,000 a year for the program for one of these kids. Okay,
yeah.
80,000. Now think about all the kids that are going to Newark or whatever, that are kids that are just fine, like they just need somebody to give them resources. Think what that $80,000 could do for them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's you're like you're not going to spend the money on a kid that has potential to be something or be somebody, but you're spending this money on someone that you know at the best they might be somebody that folds napkins at a restaurant on the table. They might set up table settings. You know what I mean? They might bag groceries at a store.
That's right. In most science fiction, they tell you when they got to leave the planet, they can't take people with birth defects. Because we can't take you.
I've never paid attention to that.
They do that in most movies. Yeah, I'm telling you, these
because resources are limited.
Resources are limited,
and the whole thing is, if you can't. So, for instance,
you
know what the history of massage is? The history of massage comes, it goes back as far as China, into ancient China, and in China. In Japan and in China, in the Asia, you could not be a massage therapist unless you were blind. It was a profession only for the blind.
Give me that one.
Because they needed a way to make the blind more efficient in the country. So if you were blind, massage therapy was for you. All right. So they're using your people to the best capacity, right? You Here's a person with a disability, and you're saying, listen, they can't see, but they could definitely touch, they could definitely feel, they could definitely do this, that, and the other. So you could only get a license to be a massage therapist in those countries if you are physically blind.
Yeah, that's
see what
crazy.
I'm saying? You can't do that with someone who's mentally challenged.
Yeah.
You can't do that with someone who's mentally challenged.
They're trying to find places and develop chips. They're trying to use the science. That's the thing. That's what, like we were saying, will we be absorbed with the science or with the technology? Remember, they got people using robotic limbs already. They got people already using technology that's already in them. They already have people that's, basically kind of doing a neural link without it being called a neural link. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where we're going to be fully immersed in it. And yeah, I was watching something the other day that you said about that as far as like population. And I was watching farm fishing. And I'm like, they have so many farm fisheries now, and they're saying that the fish in the wild aren't going to be good in a few years. So, you know how people be like, yo, you got to get wild caught, don't get farm fresh. Now they're saying that's going to be the opposite, because the wild caught is getting the pollution is too much. The contamination, the levels are going to be too high. And I'm like, there's always something, man.
Yeah, but that's what happens.
Something.
And this is what happens when you're trying to feed an overpopulation of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have an overpopulation of people that you're trying to feed, you're trying to give resources to.
They got it where they're going to grow the fish, and the fish doo-doo feeds the plant, so you can have fish and veggies out the same house at the same time.
Even your cell phone, right?
I'm like,
I forget what. There's a certain type of metal. I can't remember what the name of the metal is, but they're running out of the metal that they need to make smartphones. All right, there's a certain type of metal that they use for the wiring in smartphones, where they're running out of it because they keep making a new smartphone.
Is that called vibranium?
Huh? Vibranium? No, it's not vibranium.
Yeah, I had to bring out the Wakanda reference.
I can't wait here. It's adamantium. No.
Adamantium.
No, but it's like there's some sort of
metal. But obviously, but look, think about it though. It's a metal that's probably not from Earth, because if it's from Earth, then you should be able to find it again. And if you look at the periodic table, remember, we've made a lot of metals for the last 22 things on the periodic table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
so it's like we can make things. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But we make things out of things that are already around. And the whole thing is, if the resources are depleted, it's like I said, it's limited.
Yeah,
it's like farmland.
Yeah,
it's like farmland. It's like, we know that today. Now we know that the vitamins and minerals that's in our fruits and vegetables is not the same minor minerals that was there 50 to 100 years ago, because we're just, refarming that same dirt over and over and over again. So it's like it's depleting the grounds. So it's just, so like I said, it's going to sound fucked up, but maybe we, as a society, as a population, as a human race, maybe we do need computers to come in and make those hard decisions for us, for our own stability and security and safety.
Man. Wow, Black Zeus. I'm not stunned by it, but man, I don't know if I trust technology to make those all of those morality decisions for us. But it would eliminate all of the isms that we face in our society, though, like the sexisms, the racisms,
I'll give you a perfect example. They're testing out robotic algorithms to figure out who should get in criminal cases in the court system, who should get bail and who should not be put out on bail.
Yeah, we talked about that in our Malcolm Gladwell book. What was the book? It was your book.
I got a lot of Malcolm Gladwell books.
It was the one we read it as the book club. What was the book? Come on, it talked about Sandra Bland. It was
Talking to Strangers. Talking to
Strangers. Yeah,
and he talked. There was a chapter dedicated to technology to eliminate the human presence in making decisions and bias.
Right. Yeah, and bias. Yeah.
So the whole thing is like if technology is making those decisions and saying, okay, you get to go home, you don't, this, that, and the other, we'll have less mistakes being made and less biases, being made.
What was our counter argument to that, though?
Depending on how they write the code, though. Depending on how they write the code. See,
that's probably
how you write that code.
That's probably.
But now it had a more high efficiency rate in determining who was going to be a reoccurring criminal versus someone. Yeah. But I think we had a counter argument to that.
I can lock you up if I think that you're going to do a crime before you do the crime.
On some Minority Report shit.
Nah, that's some bull. Like, no. I thought that you were going to have the thought. What? What? Yeah, and just because I have a thought doesn't mean that I was going to act on it. I can have a thought.
Listen, here's my thing.
How many thoughts I've had and not acted on them? Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Would you rather have, a regular police officer on the street or RoboCop when it comes to making a decision about your traffic stop?
RoboCop.
I'm just saying.
Hold on, but RoboCop could take a more deadly approach and just say, "Yo, you're regardless of who you are, I'm taking you out." There's no reasoning. There's nothing.
That's when he gets.
But that's not the way he was wired.
Yeah, that's not the way he was wired, though. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Hopefully,
that's putting another code in there. That's not a pattern that he had. That's adding code.
Like, the technology will definitely get rid of all of these victimhood mentalities and all of these isms out there, but there's some morality issues I have with it too.
Morality is subjective.
It is. I got
that question that you didn't ask of mine before.
No, I was going to get to it. Your question is going to be the last one.
Which one? Which one you asking?
Well, does Dan Brown mix modern technology with cultural history? No.
You can answer that one, but I want to know about this question here. I want to know, was this meant to be a filler? Because I noticed that they start interjecting this LGBT in everything now.
Oh, did the King's secrets of being gay have any effect on the actual plot of the story? How did you feel about the King of Spain's secret love? Was it okay because they never took it to a physical level? Did the King's secret of being gay have any effect on the actual plot of the story, or was that just meant to be a filler? I think it was meant to be a filler. It didn't do anything for me.
What was the purpose of adding that in this story? We talk about technology, science, and God. Why did you add that in there?
Yeah, because the king had nothing to do with the whole. But maybe it's just the hypocrisy of the church too.
That's a good one.
See, that's what I thought about. Maybe it's showing you the hypocrisy of the church. That's what. Okay.
I mean, maybe it's showing you the hypocrisy of the church, where it's like you're damning and saying all this about people X, Y, and Z, and they couldn't straight out say, well, y'all pedophiles. So they said, well, no, y'all gay.
You're gay, yeah.
And
you have a secret love, yeah.
Yeah, what I mean. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I think that's it, because that's what I thought initially. I think it's the hypocrisy. They have to show the hypocrisy of the church as well, because in one point it tried to show where they tried to play science out. I forget what that was, but they're showing where they're trying to play the church out. Yeah, I have to show that part. I think it just had to show that. So that was all.
I think it was a filler, but you are seeing a lot more LGBT
just seeing that, just
representation in our
everything.
In everything. And you know what? It's not like I'm not against it, because it's I will be in complete denial like it didn't exist. It always existed.
Okay, hear me out, Cass. Not against it, but what I said, was it meant to be a filler? Are you trying to actually sell more books by putting this in to try to?
I see what that angle you're going.
Try to relate
to a relate to a certain.
Because he used a lot of temporal stuff that was like within the last decade and everything.
So it's like, where were you really going? Because that's not the overall storyline wasn't going with there. So you just put that in there. It was just like an insertion of something. That's how I felt. It was just like it was just.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is
no thought to it.
The king really didn't play much of a role in the whole story.
And the whole thing, exactly. So that's my part right there, Black Zeus. Like, he didn't play much of a role. Why? Why was that important? Why did we have to go there? I don't
That's
understand.
True. I don't know. I gotta put more thought into that. Yeah. But this is your last question. We're gonna wrap it up with your last question. Does Dan Brown mix modern technology with cultural history in a way that is plausible? Example: self-driving car making it into the Casa. I'm always horrible with Spanish. Is it Miller or
Casa Mila?
Mila? Thank you. Mila.
The Casa Mila.
My Spanish is horrible, bro.
It's okay. My Mandarin is terrible as well.
But you know, we kind of talked about some of that anyway.
Yeah.
And answering one of the other questions.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah,
all
I think
right,
we hit that and to answer one of the other questions.
All right, so let's wrap this book up with ratings. How do we rate this book by Mr. Dan Brown, Origin?
I have to say this is the first time I actually feel like this is a 5-star book. Like, you know, like all the other books, I always had some shortcoming with it.
Yeah.
This one, I have to say, like, I'm very content. I'm very happy with this book. Well written, great story, great references to things that are relatable or currently going on. It's just a really great, well put together story. So I give it 5.
What you got?
I was thinking because I had to get imagery. I had to get posters. Book ending, beginning. I'm gonna go with a 4 because we don't do halves. I'm gonna go with a 4 because I kind of was initially the book had me guessing, then it stopped me guessing, and I was following the storyline. I don't like the insertion of like certain parts with the where it was putting the king in there in the church and the little guy that was following him. I forget his name. But I like it as far as the material, the content, the things that he made me want to see and look at. I love that part, but we don't give it points, so I can't do 7 or 5. So we're gonna go with the 4.
I know, man. Black Zeus ruled on getting rid of the fractional measuring messed me up because I want to give this book a 4.5, but if I have to round up now, I'll probably give it a 5. It was really good. It made me it's one of the very few fictional books that have me research history, like the beginning. It wasn't a dull moment. I was always entrenched in storyline and what was being said and how it just flowed. And when a book has me do a lot more research that I intend on doing, that's very revealing and eye-opening for me. Yeah, it was. I give it a 5. It's one of those books that I can't find too much flaws with it, and therefore it's a 5.
So it's Robert Langdon, and like I said, Dan Brown has done Robert Langdon, and I've got to see Robert Langdon. This one became a Sudoku puzzle. It was Robert Langdon in his original, but it became a Sudoku puzzle. You know what I mean? They put a lot of the normal traits that they have in the books, but they made this one a little more puzzling that he had to figure out.
Interesting. See, I don't have that prior history of his writing style, like to be introduced. This is like my first introduction to, Dan Brown's writing style. I thought this was like a really interesting book. Lengthy is all hell, but to be honest, you get, for those who are not into like long reading and stuff, you really find yourself really immersed as the story starts to pick up, and you're just like, this is really good. But you
can find yourself in a story.
Yeah, you find yourself in the
story.
That's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it's long, but it's long, but it's like you're in the story. I'm explaining things that you need to hear so you could be in this story and you could be immersed in this atmosphere that I'm in. I told you I could see the supercomputer. I'm going down the spiral stairs. I'm in the Louvre. I'm in the different places, and in different museums in Barcelona, and I'm trekking through Spain, and I'm going. You know, and I'm going. Yeah, and I can see that. You know what I mean? And I like that you can.
I like the site link that you gave, because I really did follow the site.
Oh yeah, because it's by chapters. Yeah,
by chapters. That was a really good. Yeah, that was a really good resource.
This is where they at. This is where they looking at. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I even got more of an image, because in my head I had that picture. I had something similar to that, but that's exactly what it looked like. Oh, okay. Now I know exactly what it looked like. Yeah. So I definitely appreciated the book.
Good job, Black Zeus. Good job.
Oh, that was Black Zeus book. I was like, but
good job, Black Zeus. But that was, for the first time ever, we get a 5 out of 5, and it was a Black Zeus recommendation.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, if I have to skew it up, we have to recommend it.
Cocky bastard.
If anything should surprise you, is that I picked a fictional book.
I thought you were going to pick a 5 book that was going to be a fitness book or something. That's what you talking about. Like, that's what I thought you